guys, how's it going? So we've got a couple of fun things to work on today. The first one is a planting project. We've got all of our onion starts out here. Varieties are Candy, Walla Walla, and Yellow Sweet Spanish, and just one flat this year. I think last year we did, it was like either 4 or 5 flats. And we are planting them here in the cut flower garden rather than planting them out in the dirt lands like we did last year. I just wanted to mix it up a little bit this year and reduce the amount of some of the things that we grow, because I don't need to be growing, 38 tomato plants and thousands of onions. It's fun to do that, and I love to give a lot of those things away. But this year I wanted to try to fit as much as I could in this cut flower garden space, just to keep it really manageable. I think we will still grow the vine crops and sunflowers out in the dirt lands, but that way I can actually grow more vine crops than we did last year, should we decide to do that when the time comes. And the other fun thing for this afternoon is that any minute now, a load from Jaker Nursery is going to arrive. Erin and I went and picked out some trees, so we will show you everything we picked out and sort of what we're thinking of doing with all of those. For perspective, there's the flower shed and the orchard. And if I swing this way, this is where all the dahlias and many of the zinnias will go. And then on this left side, we were trying to stick to mostly perennial, and I think that is the way we will try to take it eventually. But this is the row I want to plant the onions in. We already tested the water, and these are runs of drip tape we put out last year, but I was noticing that they didn't look very crusted up with hard water. So I think we'll get another good season out of these runs before we need to replace them. In the rows over, we've got, some campanula and delphinium. I've got some sea holly, echinacea, there's yarrow right here, and then our row of strawberries. Beyond that, we've got our row of foxglove. Nothing really much happening over there. You can kind of just see some of the infrastructure. And we've just ordered more mulch, so we are going to put new layers of mulch in here and kind of brighten the whole space up. I'm looking forward to that. And I intended on taking these ranch panels out, but since we didn't get to it earlier, I think I will grow my sweet peas, the ones that we started recently. I'll grow those on probably this front panel. And then on the back panel, I could do sunflowers here, or I could do corn or amaranth. I do have a flat of amaranth. Anyway, no matter which way we take it, I've got so many plant starts, we'll have a very full garden space. And my onions grew so weird this year. You can see that the flat looks pretty full right now, but it didn't for a long time. And maybe we can put the date on the screen when we started these from seed. I can't quite remember. But the only seeds that came up from the very beginning were the Walla Wallas, and they were very sparse. But the ones that did came up, they were like 3-4 inches tall before any of the other seeds started to grow. It was just the strangest thing, and it took so long for the other ones to germinate. I actually thought, was that a total fail? Do I need to reseed an entire flat? But they were just slow. They eventually came along. And when we put these plants or seeds in the trays, you can see like this one cell has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 plants in one cell. So we're still gonna get a ton of onions here. And I'm seeing some dry cells, so I'm gonna go ahead and give these some water quick. I always wanna start with a wet root ball if possible. Aren't the flowers in the orchard looking so sweet? Love it. And then the other things that we have here are the identification tags, my kneeling pad. I've got a hoe here, and then we've got our fertilizer and compost. And I would say that that is the biggest thing to know about onions, is that they are heavy feeders. They like a lot of food, and they also need a lot of sun. And you do want to make sure that you have the proper onions for your area. When we planted these seeds, we went over the different types. There's day neutral, short day, and long day onions. Most of the time, whenever you're buying onions at your local garden center, they're carrying the appropriate varieties for your area. So that's not really a huge worry. But we're gonna start off by amending all of our soil first. So I'm gonna apply some fertilizer and then probably put our compost down. Then we'll start separating and planting our onions out. All right, we are ready to plant. We've got our fertilizer and compost down. We are sharing our space with a little black wasp though. Where'd it go? It's, oh, there it is, coming out of its home. You see it? Maybe it'll come back out. Look at that. It's got really beautiful, like iridescent blue wings. I don't know if that comes across on the camera, but it's a pretty one. It's totally entertaining me. It keeps going in and out of the hole and it brings out more dirt every time. It's building its little nest in there. And that's one of the coolest things to me about being outside. As much as, you know, us gardeners are, you get to see some really interesting things. But from what I understand, that those type of bees don't pose any threat to me. I'm just gonna leave it alone and let it do its thing. Okay, so let me show you how we do this. We're just going to separate all of these plants. And sometimes they're bigger than this when we put them out, especially if these would have grown like they normally do for me. But these will be just fine. They've got a nice little set of roots on them. But we just take the root ball and just gently start pulling these plants apart. And it's amazing to me that each one of these will form up a massive onion. It's one thing about our area. Onions do well, and they usually produce huge bulbs. And that's how it's done. Easy, easy. So we just take our onion. I'm gonna find the drip tape because what I'm gonna do is plant 4 rows. So 1 onion on either side of the drip tape, and then we'll just carry on with the 4 rows as long as we can until we run out of plants. So I just make a little well with my finger, pop the onion plant in, and it's okay to mound the soil up the stem just a little bit. Like that. It looks pretty wimpy right now. I'm gonna space mine out, I don't know, about 4 or 6 inches. You wanna make sure to give them enough space to form up a nice bulb. And I think I hear a truck. I could be wrong. No, I do hear a truck. Yep, there they are. Oh my goodness. So excited. And there goes Paul and Aaron. I'm gonna continue working on this project just because I've got some exposed onion roots here. We'll get our onion planting done and then we'll head over and take a look at all the trees. It's gonna take them a while to get them unpacked anyway. $19 onions in a cell right here. Okay, just wanted to take a quick second and show you what these onions look like before we get going on the rest of them. We have 37 in the ground so far, and you can see like right here, there's the run of drip tape, and so I just do a zigzag, sort of, just bounce back and forth around each run of drip tape so that we end up with the 4 rows all together, but they're all offset from one another, so they all have enough room to grow. And we've barely made a dent in our tray of onions. Makes me wonder if we are gonna have extra. It's possible. Well, we're just over halfway done planting our flat of onions, and we filled up that entire row. This is a 47-foot row right here. The longer ones are 60 foot. So what I think I'm gonna do, because I really want to plant some of these other varieties, all of these 6-packs were all candies. And then I did 1 row of Walla Wallas and then 1 row of the yellow sweets. I think I'm just gonna spill over into the other row because I don't think I have enough to flank the whole pathway. I could always pick up more onions to do that, and that would be really a pretty look leading up to the flower shed. but I think I'm just gonna spill over and do them all on the same side. So over here, what I'll do is just amend the soil up to our delphiniums, and I'll just plant around. I've got some campanulas that kind of came back, just 4 of them right there. So we'll just plant around them, fit as many as we can in this space, and then I think we'll call it. Some of these were just planted so thick. Samantha helped me plant the onions. Not that I wouldn't have planted them this thick myself, but boy, she went for it with those seeds. Okay, we just finished and we got most of the onions to fit in this area. I'll show you what we have left over, and I think I've got a spot where I can pop them in, but it's always so fun to see freshly planted stuff and know that just in like a month or 2, these are gonna look so big and full. Oh, so fun. And I have no idea how many onions we just planted, but a lot. And this right here is what we have left over. So quite a number of them. But I think if we take these up to our raised beds, we've got a bed where we planted rows of cilantro. And I think we can plant these right in between each of the rows of cilantro. It'll look pretty, different texture. And the cilantro, you know, once it gets really hot, it starts to bolt really fast. So, you know, we can pull the cilantro once it gets really hot and let the onions kind of take over that space. So that's pretty straightforward. I'll probably get that done a little later on because I've got to go do all my watering too, but I think we should go take a look at all those trees. Oh my goodness. So beautiful, you guys. And I think I'm just gonna run through the names of what all these are, and then I'll go into more detail when we actually do our planting, which I think we're gonna start in on it tomorrow. There are some gorgeous things here though. Okay, so the great big canopy trees right here, these are imperial honey locust trees. And these, there's 3 of them. So 1, 2, and then the third one's down there toward the end. Those 3 we intend on putting around the kids' play area because they create such beautiful shade and they're already so big. I think they'll be perfect, and I think they get 35 by 30 if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so but this is my favorite. There's 5 of these weeping Alaskan cedars. I have a really hard time finding these, and to find them this big looking like these do. There's another one on the very end. I just could not believe it. Usually when I find these, they're a lot smaller and they usually don't look that good. So to find them looking so healthy and so full, I was just thrilled. And these, I want to say they get 25 by 15-ish. We've got a couple of Norway spruce, which we planted a lot of spruce trees, specifically Norways, because I love them so much. They've got a nice, just very medium green color, a really good shape. They do well in our area, so you gotta kind of stick with those things, especially for what we are using these for, which if you look way over there, you know, we've started planting some trees along that fence line, and we want to develop a border all the way around. We won't have to work as hard here because of all the trees, but all the way around the new property as well. We would really like it to be very enclosed and make this space cozy and just have a beautiful backdrop. And it's going to take us years to get there, but we want to choose a lot of things that we know will thrive and do really well here. Which brings me to these Colorado blue spruces, which will grow, I think, like what, 40 to 50 feet tall, 20 to 25 feet wide. So we're looking forward to that. These look really nice too. They have a really good shape, a really good color. You can see that they hilled them all in. And then on either side of the spruce trees, we've got green spire lindens. They are so, so pretty. And I just love the silvery tinge that the bark has. And I want to say, what size do these get? How big do green spires get? I have to double check. But again, we'll go through all those details when we actually put them in the ground. But lindens are tough trees here. They are not afflicted by fungal things or insects. They just do it here. Love that. And oh my word, these pines are much more massive than I remember them being when we were standing there looking at them. Oh my goodness. I think these are Oregon greens. Oregon greens. So these don't get quite as big as your traditional Austrian pines, which we did get a few of those as well, 2 of those. These, I want to say, cap out at like 20 to 25 feet, maybe closer to the 20-foot side of things, and get 10 to 15 feet wide. So if you have a smaller space, they give you that pine look without getting enormous. And there's a lot of other varieties of pines too that stay even smaller than that, like Tannenbaum, Irish Bell, Indigo Eyes is a beautiful one. And then the Austrians from a different angle. But isn't that a beautiful load of trees? Oh, and I'm just so excited to place these around the play area, which is almost done. In fact, when we plant trees tomorrow, we might even be able to show you some more of that coming together. I know we said we were going to show you every day, you know, what progress was being made, but there were a lot of days where you couldn't really see big changes because there were a lot of little things going on that they were working on. The playset itself is done as of today, and the brick border is going in right as we speak. So I'm excited to share with you the update, but the kids are loving it. But these cedars, these plants are amazing. Just amazing. And you know, this is Aaron's jam, anything to do with trees, and he's been asking me for the last couple of weeks, when can we go to Jaker? When can we go to Jaker? So it's fun that we had a chance to get out this morning and go do that, and I think he could spend all day just walking down the aisles, looking up stats on trees, just learning all he can about trees. And if it can involve equipment in any way, if he can get the tractor out to plant these things, even better. And the best part about it is I don't think I'm going to even have to touch these other than cutting the wire basket off, because I think what we'll do is he can get the auger on the tractor, go you know, decide where we're going to put the trees, put the holes in the ground, and then he's got those hydraulic pinchers that he can come and just grab the root balls, lift it. We can cut the wire basket off while he's got it lifted, and then he can go set it in the hole, so we don't have to wrestle these big heavy trees around. That's really hard work. So anyway, what a wonderful day. Got all the onions in the ground, got some new trees, many, many more projects in our future. So thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed it, and we will see you in the next one. I gotta go water all the little baby plants that we have around that don't have drip yet. So I'm gonna be out here for the next hour or two finishing my chores. See you guys tomorrow probably. Bye.